I bought this 1000 watt solar panel kit system off of Amazon, so today we're going to take a look at what came in the box and look at some of the features that this thing has to offer. So first thing to mention is it comes with two 500 watt solar panels. One of the first things you're going to notice is that these panels are actually flexible. I wouldn't bend them in half or anything, but this is awesome because if you put them on a camper or RV, they could just conform to the shape of the roof. On all four corners, there's a small hole where you could use a bolt to mount them, or you could use the included clips to just lock it on and hook it to a tree or something. The positive and negative leads that are attached to the panel are 3 feet long, giving you enough space that you can attach to the next panel if you want to wire them in parallel or in series. Each single panel is 40 inches long by 26.5 inches wide. So this included positive and negative cable is 3 feet long, and this end is going to go to your battery while this end is going to go to your solar controller. This cable is 3 feet long and this end is going to go to your solar panels. It comes with 2 of these Y splitters here, so this is going to go to your solar panels. And like I said, you could actually wire this to do 12 volt or 24 volt. Depending on if you're wiring the solar panels in series or parallel. It has one spare male and female solar connector in case they break off of here for any reason. Here's the 200 watt power inverter that has 3 120 outlets, 4 standard USBs, and 1 USB-C type port. Over on the right side here, we have this 12 volt cigarette lighter. Now this is actually 12 volts out, so it does come with this cord here, which is not to be confused with plugging into here. This cord would actually plug in here, and this would go into your cigarette lighter of your car, powering your inverter. So if you did want to plug something into the cigarette lighter, you'd have to first use this cable to plug into your battery this direction. Last but not least, we have our solar charger controller. Now this has 2 standard USB outlets for charging your phone or anything that's USB powered, 3 buttons on the front for changing menu options. And here you'll see this is where your wires will actually plug in. These 2 ports are going to go to your positive and negative to the solar. These 2 central ports are going to be positive, negative to the battery. And these 2 ports are actually positive, negative out if you want to run wires directly for your DC power, for powering lights or whatnot. Now, a really important thing to mention is when you are plugging in your solar panel and your battery, there is a certain sequence that you have to do. Otherwise, you could burn out the elements of this controller. First off, you're going to be plugging in your battery to the controller, and then you're going to be plugging in your solar. You don't want the solar to be plugged in without the battery. And then if you're disconnecting it, you want to disconnect your solar and then unplug your battery. If you reverse that sequence, you could fry out the controller. It does come with a comprehensive user manual for the solar controller as well as a user manual for the inverter. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this thing all in and see how it works. I'm wanting to use this kit to maintain a 12 volt battery, so I'm gonna wire the panels parallel. I did have to buy a separate battery for this, by the way. You don't wanna work with live voltage, so I used the shipping box to hide the panels from the light. The wires from the panels are marked positive and negative, so you don't get them confused. I wanna keep 12 volts consistent voltage, so I just plug the positive wires from both panels into the same splitter, and the same with the negative wires on the other splitter. Before I connect the panels to the controller, I'm going to hook up the battery first. Then after that, I can add the positive and negative wires from the solar into the controller. I did notice that the manufacturer had put the red wires as negative and the black wires as positive on this final tether cord. I had to go back and reverse that on the controller, so thankfully I noticed it before I put it out in the sun. You can just check the polarization with a multimeter just to be safe. Once everything was wired up, it was showing I was getting power from the panels even in indirect sunlight. I hooked up the inverter to the battery, and that was reading a consistent voltage as well. I think I'm ready to go off-gridding. I am going to add an inline fuse relay to the positive side of the battery and the solar panel though. And what that's going to do is, in case there's an electrical issue, it's going to pop those fuses instead of damaging the rest of the equipment. Other than that, I think it's ready to go. So thanks for checking this out. We'll see you on the next one.